Welcome back to Strength Cultures Podcast. Number one on the hearts, number one on the charts.
Jeez, that's an old, but good one.
Yeah, I think I actually don't listen to our podcast, and I sometimes think, I know that Jamie often puts something in beforehand. Does he still say that?
I haven't listened to it in a while, but you don't listen back? I used to listen back to like suss out what I sounded like, but then I just hated it.
I did that for the first maybe 30 or 50, but I haven't listened to an episode in years at this point.
See, to myself, my voice is like nice, deep, like Lou Rawls, but
But then you hear
when
it,
I'm thinking of it, it's like
as long as there's you.
exactly, soothing. But no, it's not that at all. I need to work on that.
Yeah, my voice,
I need to be down here.
I think I'm actively trying to speak a bit deeper now, but yeah, my voice can get a bit up here, which isn't the best, but
very nasally. Well,
is what it
actually,
is.
yeah.
But yeah, so sometimes maybe the listeners will have to tell us, does Jamie still say that? Because I didn't say it last week with Skeets, and I'm like,
I don't think he does say number one in the hearts, number one in the charts anymore.
Because if he does, he's said it in the intro, and then I've said it. So now we've said it.
So it's a double up.
So we've either said it once or twice. Either way,
you need to remind the people.
It's the two of us, me and James George, holding it down. How you been, man?
Hold down the fort. Been good. It's getting much colder now. This morning's shift was tough, man.
This is your first winter coaching Strength Culture.
It is.
On the early mornings.
Yep. And you know what? I saw that TSF have installed some heat lamps in.
Not happening. Not happening.
That's exactly. I suggested it to Joel. I'm like, oh man, maybe we should get some heaters. He's like, nah. You know what? This place it's got that like a little bit of grunt about it.
It keeps us close to our roots.
It does. It does.
The cold, it shows you what everyone's made of, as does the hot. And we get the extremes here. When it's cold, it's cold. When it's hot, it's hot.
It's hot.
You feel it. That's all part of it.
Hot. Do you know that song?
Yeah, big track from the credits scenes of Bender Like Beckham.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that movie. Yeah.
Man, soccer.
I know.
Big soccer movie.
Big soccer guy.
That's a great film.
I've actually got one of my old Barcelona tops underneath. This was like an XL on me. Fits me nicely now.
That's
nice
good.
And snug on the arms.
You've been wearing a lot more soccer garments as of late.
I have.
Are you watching more soccer?
I am not.
Just the back in rotation.
It's in the rotation.
Nice.
But every now and then I'll get something on Facebook or Instagram that's like soccer related, like the F2 Freestylers. I don't think they're doing anything anymore, but I used to watch them religiously.
What's F2 Freestylers?
The F2 Freestylers, man. They were a duo on YouTube, and they basically, it's a type of like an art form, if you want to call it that, freestyling with the soccer ball.
Okay.
Where it's like tricks and shit. You know, they always show it with any Brazilian that does like any sort of tricks. Or
is that where they like juggle the ball and stuff?
Yeah.
But more complicated. A bit more than that.
Bit more complicated than just juggling the ball. Yeah, a little bit around the world stuff and tiki taka. Yeah. But no, I'm not back into soccer.
There's no itch.
No itch.
Fully gone.
I thought there was a little while back.
Weren't they recruiting you 6 months ago?
They were. I actually got a call. Yeah, it would have been. Was it 6 months now?
Maybe less than 6 months.
Less than that. It would have been this year. I got a call from one of my old coaches to come back, and then got the whole spiel. Like, I think you should get back into it. You need something alongside it. You need something alongside your studies and everything. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for the advice, but I'll pass.
Because when you first started training here 10 kilos ago, you were fresh out of soccer, like
fresh. Yeah,
like
I was still in it.
You're still in it, but
yeah. But I was removed from it. Yeah.
Yeah, but not fully out.
No, not fully out.
And now look at you.
Now look at me.
Long gone.
Thriving. I feel like I was just too heavily into that grind set of I need to be just playing soccer, just consuming soccer, doing soccer, everything soccer.
Yep.
That when I came here and started actually training outside of soccer, I was like, this is mad.
Yep.
Actually developing.
Yep.
Not feeling like soccer is everything.
Yep.
Not a grind set guy.
Maybe not a grind set guy in the most toxic iteration of that term, but you're still grinding towards something. You're just grinding towards something different.
I definitely.
Whereas maybe now it's not as all consuming as soccer was. Yeah. Maybe that's the difference.
Yeah. I definitely was that person though. Like
I
made a schedule for myself and I stuck to it for the longest time. Probably like 2-3 years where it was wake up at 5 o'clock, do a little bit of ball work in the morning, have breakfast, go to school, bit of freestyling, F2 freestyling. And then you have soccer training after school. Of course, you play lunchtime soccer. Shouts out lunchtime soccer crew. And then you go home.
Were you the best at school?
I wasn't.
Were you up there?
I was up there. I was up there for sure. I remember a year 12 soccer game. Man, we weren't playing with real goals. There were those small like net goals. I hammered it on a nice volley. It was coming across my body. I hammered it with left foot, so not even my preferred, and it hit the crossbar. And we that was to win the game. We tied the game.
Bugger.
It still haunts me today.
Bugger. That's one of those ones that'll never let you down.
Crowd all on the hill. Man, the whole school was there.
Because imagine if that story's flipped, that would be like a key moment of your life.
It could
in
have
the
been
best way
canon,
possible.
yeah. Absolutely.
That's all right. Happens.
But nah, what kind of threw me out of soccer and into the gym was, again, just training outside of just soccer, but also copped a concussion that year, and it kind of just had me out of soccer for ages. And the traditional return to sport process is just no contact, not a lot of stimulation, just gym environment.
Yep.
So it was just in and out of that for ages. I think it was like 6 months.
Yep. Was the team pretty like firm on like, oh no, you've had a concussion, like?
No, so when it happened, I was still played the rest of the game. Like we didn't have a, what do you call them? Like a team doctor or team physio.
Yeah, right.
Because it's real like community level stuff. We didn't have the budget back then. Budget went to the players in my pocket. Nah, not at all. Did not get paid a lot. But yeah, and we had some real old school coaches as well from across the pond in Scotland. Bit of Scottish guys. And this is derailed already. But yeah, just very old school. When it happened, he's like, yeah, you're fine. Went off. Wasn't feeling too great. Then he's like, well, we need you back on. Went back on.
How the concussion? Do you remember? Do you know? You probably maybe don't remember.
I remember how it happened. Yeah,
so what
but
happened?
Then like the rest of the game, I cannot remember.
Yeah, fuck.
It happened like probably 50 to 60 minutes in. Ball's coming up overhead. I'm backpedaling. I'm in the defense at this stage. It was like right back. So I'm backpedaling, looking overhead, and like gonna jump up to head the ball. Someone jumps up from behind me, collects me with his knees. I'm falling forward. I felt fine at that stage, but then someone I hadn't seen was like right in front of me. So I'd gone straight into their legs head first, and then it was just.
So it was like a knee to the head, or
it must have been knee, foot. I don't know, but I remember just that's it. Like the rest of the game, I don't remember. I've Isabel will tell me like. You were on the ground for a bit, but then you got up, you went off, came back on, finished the game, and then I remember driving home.
You were the driver?
Yeah, I was the driver. We were driving home, and there was a turn off to get onto the East Link, and I just completely missed the turn off, took it too soon, and just mounted the curb and drove on like a footpath.
Far out.
That was a interesting time. And then the process back from that was crazy. It was like, I remember it was probably 24 to 48 hours after. Okay, so the night of, so getting home, just felt super uneasy, like lots of stars on my eyes, felt sick, but I was hungry, like just weird. And me being me, jumped on Google, searched up what's going on. They're like, potentially, need to call a nurse, tell my parents. They're like, all right, just suss what a nurse says. Nurse says, sounds like you might have a concussion. Go to the emergency room. Did that. They said, yep, pretty much you've got a concussion. I can't remember if I had, I think the scan that they do or whatever, because he was telling me that you could go down this way, or you could just fucking go home. There's not much else they can do for it. They'll just check if there's any bleeding on the brain.
Yep.
I think I did have that, because then they ruled it out.
That's good.
But then the next couple of days after that was fucking rough as just, I remember being so irritable, like, and at that time I was still at uni, so I had to do assignments and shit, and I would write thinking I'm writing a full coherent sentence, but it was like kind of words were here, there, and like just not structured at all. It was really weird. Man. I remember calling mum, just like fucking, and I bawled my eyes out to her, like, this makes no sense. What is going on?
Cool, man.
So I was in and out of specialists for that 6 months.
Post that game, did you play again or?
Nah, it shook me.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I did play again, but that game only played one game, I think, after that.
Yeah.
And that game didn't feel good at all. I was playing defense again, heading the ball, and same thing happened. Just got so fucking disoriented, like, and I'm just like, nah, this is fucked. Hung up the boots.
I'm glad you did, man, because like with my limited understanding of it, there's a guy, I don't know if you've heard of him. I think it's Dr. Alan Pierce. Like, he's been on Woodford's podcast, and he's like a expert when it comes to, I think he might be a neurologist, but yeah, to do with like sporting related concussions and stuff like that. And like he posts a lot of stuff about how, I mean, obviously it's great in your case, like that was enough for you and like you just left it and didn't go back and shit like that. But yeah, just talks about how like a lot of the processes around it are just, there's a lot of mismanagement, whether it's at like the local level or the higher levels, and people just going back on too soon and like not actually understanding the severity of it. And obviously it can be really serious. So like, I'm glad in your case, you know, that was enough for you and you just left it. But like,
it was rough.
It sounds like, obviously, even for you, it was such a bad experience. But I think, you know, some people just have it worse, and you know, the potential for multiples. Like it's a serious thing. So it's pretty scary when you think about it.
It was pretty isolating, man. Like I couldn't even go into. At the time, Isabel and I were like pretty fresh into dating. Fresh is the right word.
I think so.
Pretty new into dating, but Isabel. We would want to go to like Time Zone and go shops and all that sort of stuff. I remember just being so overwhelmed by the noises and lights in movie theaters as well. Like Time Zone, I'll never forget. We went to High Point Time Zone. Just walking in, I'm like, nah, this is too much. We just walked straight back out. Like, it was fucked.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, bit of this, bit of that, but. As they say, I think it might have been you or Jamie Smith. That's like, this is the place where dreams die. No, I'm joking.
I reckon it. I reckon it.
It was a joke.
I reckon it might have been Jamie Smith, and it's
where athletes retire. That's where it is.
Probably something down the lines of that. Where athletes retire. Where it's like
not dreams.
Yeah. Well, the situation, which was basically you, is people serious about their sport, footy, soccer, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's their thing. They come here and then, maybe lifting something else I could do. It's not just having playing my sport or nothing. It's, you wanted to push your sport to a high level? You're done with that? All right, come in. Get in the gym. We'll 100%. We'll show you how to deadlift.
And that's what it was. That's what started on the S&C program. That you guys, do you still have those programs?
We still do. So if everyone just we've got our training app, Strength Culture training app. Download it. Plenty of programs there waiting for you. But yeah, that's how you got in. That's how you got in.
Did that, and then that's been life ever since.
Here we are. So it's been a couple of years now that you've been around the gym.
About almost 3 years.
And about 6 months working here.
Yep.
6 months of JG.
6 months of Team JG.
How's it been? How's the team?
Team's been good. Always growing, learning as well. I reckon, as cliche as it sounds, you always learn more from your clients than you do consuming like other stuff.
100%.
But I've got a good variety, a good bunch.
Yep.
People wanting to push their strength for comp-specific stuff like powerlifting, but also people that are still doing like community level sport. I'm enjoying the mixed bag because it doesn't feel like I've niched down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mad.
Which I don't think I'm ready to niche down. I just want to fucking train everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mad. That's good, man. I've definitely enjoyed kind of seeing like seeing you go through the journey of like just very, very similar to what I did, like, yeah, finding your feet, obviously developing as a coach, going through the ups and downs, the challenges, and like, yeah, I think I've been there to be a bit of a helping hand and just talk you through it. But I've enjoyed like just kind of seeing that process and just.
Oh no, it's been great having you lads. Like,
Yeah.
you guys would have shaped a lot of just how I communicate with people, how I view things. So yeah, it's been mad. Yeah.
Fucking oath.
Yeah.
Mad. What are we looking forward to for the coming months and the rest of the year, coaching wise?
Well, might be helping you at Apex, which is
that'll be good.
Yeah.
So would that be your first time?
Well, I've
coaching?
done novice comp,
Yeah.
but this will be a sanctioned
Man, that'll be good. We've got a big team. I think we've got 6 lifters going to Apex in July. So that'll be a fun
hectic.
one. That'll be a fun
Mel
one.
Robb.
It's always Mel Robb's one of them.
Robb.
But yeah, we always like when we have a big team.
Yeah, absolutely.
bring the
So
team.
I'm keen as for that because seeing how you boys operate, especially the other coaches too, like Jez, Josh, Victor.
Yep.
Seeing how not everyone does the day the same.
Yep.
Like I don't know what TSF's structure is, but they obviously have the head coach and assistant coach.
Yep.
Where you guys generally will fly solo, and then Victor will generally do that too, but he looks a lot more involved, where you provide a plan prior and then everything's pretty smooth sailing from there.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, keen. Just want to dip my feet in more of a variety of things. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure, man. I think I really enjoy comp day coaching. I think it is a part of the job that I really do enjoy, and I think I'd 100% miss it if it wasn't there. But it's because it is just very different to like the coaching we do during the week, and I still obviously enjoy that as well. But yeah, it is a little bit different on a comp day, and it's just a different environment, different challenges.
it's super stressful too. Like you need to be able to make a decision quick.
Yeah, for sure. And I like that aspect of it. Like you're forced to be there in the moment. Like, because obviously a lot of what we do in the gym, it's where we're building something up over a period of time.
Yeah.
It's a process. We understand that we just have to be gently steering the ship in the right direction for the most time. But obviously on the comp day, it's very like here and now. What are we doing right now? Like, what are we? Is something not feeling right? How are we going to fix that in the moment? Because we have to. Because there's a constraint. I think that is the fun part about comps, whether it is as a lifter or the coach. There are constraints. There's rules. There's times. It just forces you to really hone in and nail things, which I think is it's an enjoyable challenge. I think for both lifter and
100%.
coach. Yeah.
What were your first few comps like coaching?
So the initial ones I would have just been. The initial experience wasn't really coaching. It was just kind of being in the back room with Jamie and Charlie back in the day, just kind of helping with warm up, stuff like that. Kind of taking in how they went about it. And then I think it's a while ago now, but I think pretty quickly I realized that it was something that I enjoyed.
Yeah, man.
I definitely think it's like with anything. The more you do it, the more that process gets refined, and I think even till this day, I'm just tinkering at the approach as you go along. But yeah, I think it's just one of the things you need to do it. Like any task, any skill, any aspect of coaching, the more experience you have doing it, the better. So obviously, the novice comp can be a chance where that can be kind of practiced, but specifically comp day coaching, there's no way around getting better at it versus doing it. Like you can watch a YouTube video, you can hear someone's experience, but you've got to do it. And the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more you can work out what works for you, what doesn't work. You're going to make mistakes, then you can obviously learn from those, and then as well with the individual lifter, that obviously the more times you go through that process with them, the better you know them, and the better you can get what they're after and get the best outcome for them.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me, you've just been at Mega Nuts. When was it? 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
And you've let me know how that went. I obviously saw bits and pieces of it, and you had B Money there with you.
Had B Money.
Keen. I've always got one eye on B Money's progress.
You've got to.
I've got to.
So the key part for your case is that he didn't out deadlift you.
Mad.
He was getting really close.
I saw that. Yeah.
So your best deadlift's 225. You hit 222 in prep.
Yeah.
He didn't quite get you.
He had room.
He could have got you, but
Yeah.
he didn't, because one thing we like doing is going for glory. And we went.
Was it 237, 247?
247.
247,
So yeah,
yeah.
Brendan did really well. PB'd his squat, got the 200. PB'd his bench 135.
Mad.
Deadlifts, his second was 217, which was 2 kilos under a comp PB. It was a head-to-head matchup. His opponent was stronger, hadn't missed a lift. Obviously, when you're trailing, when people aren't missing, it makes your job hard. But we had nothing to lose. You know, we chucked on 247. We knew it was going to be a big ask. It just broke the ground, which I was honestly surprised about. I wasn't sure it would break the ground, but it was a 25 kilo. Well, it would have been a 25 kilo PB. So had we loaded a PB, like I'm certain he would have deadlifted over 222. He would have hit. I probably would have hit 232 to 235 realistically, but that's all right. And then Brendan came off and said, "Dids, what I need to do to get that 247." I'm like, and he even asked me again today. I'm like, Brendan, it was just too heavy. That's all. If we put 235 on there, you would have deadlifted. Your deadlift's great. It's getting stronger. It's never been stronger. It's just me. If I put 320 on the bar, if I put 310 on the bar, the same thing would happen. Like, it was too heavy.
I reckon it's eating him alive, because he was very keen to hit the chicken dance when he was about to out deadlift me.
He was, but he'll have to wait. Oh, lost my microphone here. We're back. Yeah, he'll have to wait a little bit longer. And it's interesting in that. Obviously, in this instance, Brendan was happy just to go for it. Hadn't missed a lift. It was come second or try come first. Like, there was no one behind him. He had nothing to lose. But even then, missing the lift, it still ate him up a little bit, which is fine. He'll live with it. But that's an aspect of comp day coaching. Like, obviously, you can reach and you're going to miss some lifts sometimes, but like, it can definitely weigh on someone. Like, even if they know they had a little bit more in the tank, making lifts just makes you feel you feel like you succeeded. Obviously, if you can PB as well, great. But like, when you do miss a lift, you kind of get, even if we can hypothetically say, oh yeah, he could have PB'd. He didn't. Like, he still leaves thinking, like, what could have been? You know what I mean? So
100%.
Obviously, it's different contexts and different situations. You're going to make different decisions. But yeah, that making lifts, obviously, it helps to build the total. But it also, even if it's not a PB or it's not quite what you wanted, if you make lifts, you walk away feeling accomplished. Like, if the more lifts you miss, the less accomplished you feel. Like, that's definitely an aspect of it. But yeah, Brendan smashed it. We're really happy with how he went, and I think that was his 12th comp.
Whoa, with you?
With you. He did what? So when he first came to Strength Culture, he was coached by Jamie, and then got the handball over to more capable hands. Yeah. And then, I think we've done 11 comps together.
Whoa.
So yeah, good innings.
What's that been like? Like, obviously a testament to, I know I take the piss out of B Money sometimes. Like, we both got a good, like, little toxic competitive,
little friendly rivalry.
Yeah, little friendly,
a little bit toxic, but also friendly.
Yeah,
I
think I might have to check in with him on that one. But what's that process been like? He's obviously, like, as you just explained now, he's got that innate characteristic of just wanting to strive for better anyway. That would contribute to him just hitting 12 comps. But what's that journey been like with you and B Money?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's definitely a privilege to get to coach someone for that long. Like, obviously, it's not often that you, and he was actually my first client, so it's cool that I've been able to still be working with him until this day. And yeah, obviously, it's not often that you're able to keep a client for so long and keep progressing. So obviously, it's a privilege. And it's funny with that 247, because this was pre-COVID, like 2019. He was nowhere near as strong, a lot less experienced with his lifting. He had his eyes on a 260 deadlift, because at the time in the Masters 105s, that was when he was an M1. Now he's an M2, but that was the record. I think it might have been. It was something around that. It was like 260.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, look, I'm confident that Brendan's gonna. It's not gonna happen easy. At the time, his max might have been like 205. I'm like,
Yeah.
I reckon Brendan's gonna keep lifting long enough for that to happen. I don't think it's gonna happen soon, but I'm confident it will happen. And the fact that he broke 247 off the ground, obviously he didn't hit it. It's not the same as hitting 260, but I'm like, he might actually get there. He might actually fucking get there. Like at the time, it was like pie in the sky, and like obviously 260 is a big number. Not many people hit 260. Like it's especially now at 52 years old. But I'm like, you know what? It might take him another 5 years, but I reckon he'll get there. I fully think it's gonna happen. He's just, and Brendan is a testament to if you just keep showing up, if you just keep putting in the work. Like there's been few times where there's been a really rapid increase in strength. It's just a small PB here, small PB there, chip. Do it for 8 years, you can really significantly improve the numbers you can hit. And if everyone did that, everyone's like potential is different and circumstances. But if you just gave it some time and kept that long-term focus, didn't care too much about what you're doing now or tomorrow or in 6 months, just keep the eye on that long-term prize, everyone would really surprise themselves with how much they can actually achieve. So it's mad. It's mad to see him still climb. Especially, obviously, fucking he's 7 years older, but also still way stronger than when he started. So it's
mad.
It's mad.
B-Money's he's definitely one of my favorites here.
He's all time. He's number one. He's number one.
He's number one.
Yeah, Brendan smashed it.
And you go.
Yeah.
Well, like for me, looking out on someone like B-Money and hearing his pathway and his progress, I can only like imagine what must drive him to just want to just keep chipping, embrace the monotony of training. Because a lot of people, they want that instant gratification, which just strength training in general just isn't that. And I just recently made a post about this myself, where like I'm a person that needs, whether it be a comp to push me further in training, something to chase. Doesn't necessarily have to be a comp, but it has been a comp most times than none. But I've actually reflected more on my training, and even the making little goals within your training, like session to session, like I just want to get that extra rep, or make this feel better than last time, like chip away at that. Like, do you know what sort of thing drives B-Money? Is it just comps every year, or?
It's an interesting one, because I don't think I have the ability to put it into words, but I think it's the same thing that drives me. And like, I am also driven by the carrot that's dangled sometime in the short to medium term, whether that's a comp or the next PB. But like, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, and I don't know exactly how to frame it, but like, I think he and I are just committed to the long-term process and trust that. And this sound like I really, this might be a problem I have to unpack myself, but I have a problem speaking well of myself, and I feel like in doing this I'm speaking well of myself. I'm like, oh yuck, stop. So maybe I should talk about Brendan. Forget me. But yeah, either way, we're gonna say it.
Go. Give yourself
I
some
think
flowers.
it's just, I don't know if it's flowers. It's just how we are. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm giving myself flowers. Ew, stop that. But yeah, it's just, I think Brendan and I are just committed to the long-term process, and we trust that if we keep at it, things will move upwards. And like, random example, when I was 20 or 21, before I worked here, working at a group training gym, training mums in a F45-esque setting.
Yeah.
One of them, and looking back now, like I feel like a wanker for saying this, but I'm going to say it again. It's one of them asked me, what are you training for? And I was like, 20, 21. I'm like, oh, I'm training to be a really strong 40-year-old. And like, it sounds like a weird thing to say, but I genuinely meant it. I'm like,
no, I read that.
I just want to keep getting better, and I want to commit to this to the long term and see how I can go. And like, I really don't. There's some numbers I want to hit, but like, I just want to keep at it. Do you know what I mean? And like, 100%. I don't know how to put that into terms or into how to phrase that, but it's just, I just enjoy staying the course. You know what I mean? Like, there might be a better way to phrase it, but I think that's just what it comes down to. Like, yeah, there's the satisfaction of hitting certain numbers and milestones, but more than that, it's just cool. That pursuit that I started a long time ago, I'm still at it. And like, could I have hit some bigger numbers by now? Yeah, I'm sure. But like, I don't really care. Like, I'm still at it. That's where the satisfaction comes from.
Absolutely.
That's where the fulfillment comes from. Just being at it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I think that jumbled up last 2 minutes is probably the most precise way I've ever put that into words. But I think that's just how I feel about it. I think that's definitely how Brendan would feel about it. Also, I'm sure he'd say something similar if you were to ask.
No, 100%. I agree. And well, your training, what are you still doing the project chest, bis and thighs, or?
It's probably more chest tries and thighs. Although there's been some bis in there.
Yeah.
Still, the program is still biased towards the program's recently changed, but definitely still biased towards chest, tries, and thighs. I'd say that's another focus. But I reckon upper body the most. Yeah.
Chest, and so you've mentioned that it's changed then, like, and just to like obviously put it into context and perspective of what we were just chatting about, like staying the course for the long-term goal. Like, to some people that change might mean that all of a sudden you're not going to end up at point B anymore. Like, what changes have you made to make sure that you're still gonna, that you're still on course, but like you felt like you need changes now? And so I think I basically did the same program. So I competed in late October, and then basically until 2 weeks ago I did the same program. I might have changed like a couple of things, like I changed the hack squat to the belt squat, but like, and maybe something else, but more or less I did the same program just because I was like, I feel like I'm making progress on it. It feels, I'm enjoying it. I feel like I'm pushing hard enough. And then there came a time when I was standing at the bar, looking down at it, having to do sets of 8 on deadlifts. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, it could just be 1 week. Came back next week. I'm like, I can't. I'm done. I've hit the wall. So I've since changed to I'm doing pause sets of 5s. But that was the one thing that I'm like, nah, I've done them. They've been good. But I'm done with pause sets of 8. And then I wanted to add in, so the other major change I've added back in comp, bench, and competition squat. So I just changed the belt squat to a barbell squat. I changed the pressing variations to some benching. And then there was a couple of other like accessories I changed, nothing major. But that was the main change, mainly because I want to compete in November and I want to do well. So I want to have the barbell lifts back in the mix sooner rather than later, just to initially go through that kind of re-intro phase, and then hopefully by mid-year, like be properly cooking with gas, and like June, July, somewhere around then, like actually be putting the foot down and actually pushing it a bit. Have you? Well, now that you say that, it makes sense because I've noticed Ash has just been reintroduced to some barbell pressing too, and he's PBing. Have you noticed any differences in your own? Yeah. Well, and speak about Ash as well, because he's fucking. So firstly, flying.
Ash, like I mentioned it briefly. Last week, but Ash's last similar kind of period, 6 months of training, I think is just a really fucking cool case study, because Ash is definitely in that category of just tell me what to do, coach. I'll do it. I'll hit it hard. I won't complain. I might be sick of something, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to do it until you change it, which I think is a good attribute. As much as people should do what they enjoy, ultimately this is a hobby.
Yeah.
And if you don't enjoy doing something, that's fine. You're allowed to change it. It's your program. It's your training. However, if you want to make progress, if that's something that motivates you, I think having that ability to just fucking do something for an extended period and just kind of put up with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Is important.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like I'm currently self-coached, but when I was working with Lisa, like someone would be like, "Oh, Dids, like you really like that exercise." I'm like, "Why do you do it?" "Oh, you really like that exercise." I'm like, "It's in the program." Like, I guess I do enjoy it, but it's there. I'll do it.
I'm doing what you asked.
I'll do it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But Ash competed in November, benched 140, and then since then we've done no specific like flat benching. We've done incline press. We've done weighted push-ups, dips, just more general strength training. Nothing kind of barbell specific. And he it's a push pull run. Push pull run is coming up in a week and a bit.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And we added bench back in, comp bench, and it's just been started at 130, which was 10 kilos less than a PB, and then 5 weeks in, he hit 140 again. Better than he's ever hit it before. He's hit it twice, or maybe 3 times. He's probably hit it 3 times ever, all in that kind of window. He hit it better than he's ever hit it before, and I'm confident he'll bench 142, maybe even 145. And it's like,
shit.
Like it's not just like, I'm not trying to like hone in on that exact process and think that there's a blueprint there and like everyone has to do it exactly as he did it. But like, I think if more people realize, fuck, like I can, even if my goal is X, I can do something that's still similar, but not exactly that.
Yeah.
Push it hard, make progress. Obviously, that's the key. And then come back, and then it's just there. It's waiting for him. Like, it's actually like the reason why I gave him these exercises is because he didn't want to compete anytime soon. He wanted to get stronger. I'm like, cool, these are going to be some good tools to do that. Obviously, as always, we need to make sure we're doing them at a sufficient intensity. And he's done that. And then like, I kind of thought that this would happen, but I'm genuinely surprised at like how well that transition back has been. Like, it's just, and I'll say it for the 10th time, the key is, and this is what like I think the problem is a lot of times with people when they kind of view things through like a powerlifting lens. When they're doing specific powerlifting training, they're pushing things, and if they move away from that, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm not powerlifting, I'm just kind of going through the motions. But it's like, no. He's probably training even harder than he was the last 6 months than when a comp was coming up. Like, that's how he actually got stronger. Like, he didn't take a break. Yeah, he shifted focuses a bit, but he was still training hard. Like, he was still making progress, and you can. And I think, a lot of powerlifters or people who train like that could benefit from that approach of just, we can always be pushing hard. It doesn't have to be because of comps coming. There was nothing coming up. There was no gratification. We did this. We just rinse and repeat. Like, there was nothing. It was just
100%.
Do the work. And then, oh man, like, you got stronger. Wow. Like, fuck, of course, you know what I mean? Because you trained hard. Like, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's actually been mad to see that kind of transition back. And like, at this point, like, he'll do push pull run. He'll smash it. And it's like, all right, like, if you want to compete later in the year, like, why don't we just do that again? Like, at this point, why would we fucking bench? Why don't we do it again?
You found something, that works for him.
You know what I mean? Like, it seems to be working. Like, it's not quote unquote like conventional, but he has, you know, his bench technique's solid enough to where like we can introduce it, and pretty quickly it's looking schmick again. So it's like, nice. Why don't we just run that again? Like, I don't know. Maybe we will. I don't know. We'll
it's just moving from like what, GPP to SPP.
That's it. Yeah. And as Jacob said last week, like, you can get away with GPP the more your quote unquote sport looks like the gym. But like, I think people think that like, a weighted push up or like a weighted dip are like just so, and it's just whole just like, bodybuilding versus powerlifting. As soon as you're not doing like barbell lifts, you're bodybuilding. It's like, it's all this fucking same, man. Like, they're just exercises. Like, it's all that muscle is building strength is building muscle. Like, there's no. They aren't two things. Like, they're just exercises that, like, because they're over 10 reps, they become hypertrophy. Like, hypertrophy, strength, it's all the fucking same. Like boys, if you showed someone his program, he's doing weighted push-ups and weighted dips and incline bench. Oh yeah, train like a bodybuilder. I'm like, yeah, but like, it's really not that different to powerlifting training. Like powerlifting training isn't this mystical thing. It's just training.
Yeah,
just.
Like, it's gonna sound woo-woo-y when we say it's just training, but even when we talk about powerlifting, like, at least for myself, I view it as, if we were to go SPP with powerlifting, it would look like that peak block where we're doing heavy singles. Like, that is the SPP of it.
But the bulk of your training of the year, what does his training have in common that most of powerlifting? Okay, so let's specifically for the upper body, forget the lower body. What does his training that for the last 6 months have in common that powerlifting specific training does? We're doing lots of chest and tricep focused exercises because you need to for bench, and we're doing those. We're definitely having some higher intensity in there. So it's not all 15 to 20 reps. Like, there's definitely some lower rep range in there, but that's what we do with the powerlifter anyway. It's not all sets of 2 or 3. Like, we've got some lower rep work, we've got some moderate rep work, we've got some higher rep work. Like, it's the same thing. It just so happens that we're not lying on a bench and pausing on the chest. It's still, like, those things are way more closely related than people actually realize, provided that the intensity is there. Obviously, if you fluff around and do him a 140 bench, if he does sets of 10 on bodyweight push-ups and calls it a day, okay, that's not, you're not training at that point. Like, that's not, but stimulus is still there. That's what it comes down to.
100%. Yeah. he's not. I don't think Ash would call himself a powerlifter, or he wouldn't marry himself to that.
He wouldn't, and
he'd just say he just trains.
he just likes training.
Yeah.
And then he happens to do some
Because
comps.
he's done fucking. I swear he's done everything. He did CrossFit as well. Did
Yeah,
a little bit of
for
ollie
sure,
lifting
for
as
sure.
well. Like he's done it all. Yeah.
100%. He's just training, and then and that's the thing. Like, there's not this like binary of like, am I a bodybuilder or am I a powerlifter? He's a guy who likes training, who sometimes does comps, and he does well. But like, it's just this general training that he does just so happens to help the times of the year when he wants to train like a powerlifter. But he just likes training. It's like getting after it. Like,
I love Ash.
It's all the same.
He just gets it done.
Gets it
in
done.
and out. Doesn't
In and out.
complain. Yeah.
Doesn't complain.
Doesn't muck around.
Doesn't muck around. Straight to it.
Saturdays he loves to muck around, but he still gets to it.
But he still gets to it. He gets to it.
That's good.
I reckon we need to recap the rest of Mega Nats. So we gave
I blanked on that one.
We gave Brendan.
Sorry, Jay Smith. Don't cut that out.
That's all right. We gave Brendan his flowers. We got to shout out the rest of the lifters.
Yeah.
On,
Who else did you handle?
On the Wednesday, we also had John in the 83 M2s. John smashed it. PB'd everything. I think John is definitely in that sort of Brendan category. And definitely, it's somewhere between like a Brendan and an Ash. Like, just really focus on that long-term process, but it's also just a real like, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll get after it. I won't complain. Just trust the long-term process. Get after it. But yeah, John smashed it. Also been working with him for a number of years now, and yeah, PB'd everything, which was really cool to do. I only missed his first bench because I think he didn't have his like elbows locked out at the top, but we still went up in weight, and so yeah, it's one of those times where he missed the lift, but it's like didn't really. He missed an open and then went up anyway. So basically went 9 for 9 and PB'd everything, so that was really cool. Vic, who I handled for Charlie, smashed it. PB'd everything as well. I think it was like a 19 kilo total PB, maybe even a 30 kilo total. It was a big total PB. I think it was like 30 kilo total PB, and we got the national record deadlift, which was mad. Probably had more in the tank, but on the day I was like, Vic, we're here. This is your chance. You can't set a record any old day. Just take the chip, take the extra 500 grams, and yeah. So she walked away with not just a national record, but yeah, a national
500
record.
grams. So the other chick got what,
so they
170?
deadlifted 170.5. We put in 171, which yeah, it's just one of those things. I was confident she could have deadlifted more than 171, but it's one of those things where it's like, today's your chance.
Yeah,
just take the record,
yeah.
and then you can take it again next.
She hit 175 in gym,
and then she hit 175.
after,
a few days later, which yeah, she had room, but
yeah,
safe. Get the record, it's yours. Don't risk it, and then yeah, don't get the biscuit.
Actually, you mentioned because I just watched Brad Scott at Anytime Fitness, the Movement Osteo one.
Yep.
A lot of people that missed their first attempts or second attempts, missed their first attempts, they just reattempted that number.
Yeah.
Well, you just said you went up anyway with John. Like, what's the reasoning behind that?
So it does inherently become risky, but I think it just comes down to like knowing the lifter and having confidence. If you have the confidence that they can rectify the issue, then it's fine. In John's instance, he just wasn't fully locking out his elbows. That's one of those things where like it's not a really major change in technique.
Yeah.
So I'm like, John, you'll be fine. That moves well. Just lock your elbows out. You'll be right, man.
Yeah.
And he was able to do it. Because yeah, and the thought process there was, John's bench has been better than ever. This will be he hasn't PB'd his bench in 3 years. We're at 117. We want to get to at least 127 to get the PB. If we have to retake 117, it's then a very risky jump for us to jump 10 kilos to get to the 127. So what I obviously did was go 122, obviously confident that he would get it. And then, yeah, he obviously did. And then we were able to get the 127. But there's certain things where if it's like, if your ass like flies off the bench or like, if you like completely miss depth on squats or just something very major where it's like, I'm actually not sure if we can go up in weight. Like depth would be a big one. Like if your depth is just not there and it's like not the easiest opener, that's where it's kind of like, if you're going to go up in weight, you better be confident you're going to sink it.
Yeah.
If you miss that, then you're cooked. So yeah, it is a good move to repeat your open if you miss it, but also there's some niche examples where it's like, I think you'll be right. And you just, it's a risk, but it's obviously a risk you want to take sometimes.
Yeah, man. And well, you've had a busy couple of weeks as well because you had Scott Brad doing Brad you had Brad Scott doing Movement Osteo as well.
Brad smashed it. Yeah, had Brad on Saturday. Shouts out to Adam Chu. Hosted the comp out of Anytime Fitness Knox that he works out of, and it was honestly a really well run comp.
It's a sick facility.
I've heard from some other people that he does really good comps, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be like half the gym or because obviously it's a like public gym. I wasn't sure if it was still going to be having members here, but they closed it all up, which was mad. So there was really a lot of space, and it was really well run comp. So
it had a big
massive
TV.
screen, like it must have been like 10 TVs put together.
Yeah.
Like that was
Jay Smith, we need one for downstairs.
Yeah, and or a projector. I reckon a projector
would be mad.
We need to get a projector.
Yeah. I could supply. I've got a projector. But then what would we
on the wall.
Yeah.
Because it's good when everyone can see everything really clearly.
I was thinking like the AMF bowling situation where you play like the music videos.
In between lifts.
I don't know why my brain went there, but yeah, in between lifts, just
spare
Katy Perry just fucking fireworks.
Yeah.
That'd be mad.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a mad comp, and Brad did really well. Hit PBs across the board. Squats 220, which was a 20 kilo comp PB on his second. We reached on the third. I thought he was going to have it. We put 232 on. One of those times where the decision making maybe wasn't the best, but Brad himself felt like the 232 wasn't the best executed, and I agreed. Like obviously, it wasn't going to be a challenging third, but yeah, I think he just felt like he didn't nail it.
It looked like he lost it at the bottom.
Yeah, I think he just lost a bit of tension at the bottom, lost a bit of balance.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those lifts where like he hit the hole. I'm like, oh no, he's done. But then he regained it. I'm like, oh,
he started moving.
What, he's going again? Like after he hit the hole, I'm like, oh, it's over. But I'm like, oh wait, no, he's still going.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And in Brad's a fighter. He gave it a red hot crack, but yeah, just wasn't there. But still walked away with a massive.
Just stand up, man.
Just stand up, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, like me. still walked away with a 20 kilo squat PB, bench. It was like a 15 kilo comp PB, 132. Also a grinder, but finished it off. So that was good.
Mad.
And then deadlifted 255 for a 12 kilo comp PB, probably with a bit of room. So very successful day. I think 47 kilos on the total, which is mad. And yeah, definitely cool to crack over the 600 kilo mark. And yeah, just keen to keep building from there.
And Brad Scott came from the novice comp?
Yeah, Brad was a.
How long ago was that?
So I think he did one of our novice comps in 2023.
2023,
and he would have totaled. I think he would have been somewhere in like the low 500s, maybe like 520, something like that.
Jeez.
I think at that day, like I think he deadlifted like 235 for like a Hail Mary win on the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really smashed it, like nearly 100 kilos on his total in the last couple of years. And once again, like just a testament to what can be achieved with just for the most part, no like really like rapid kind of periods of like huge progress, just chipping away, and then yeah, the last 6 months have been really productive, and yeah, he was able to obviously open all his openers. I think were PBs, except for deadlift. Squat and bench were PBs on his openers, which is fucking mad. So yeah,
mad.
Awesome job to Brad Scott. Really solid couple of years, and yeah, keen to keep climbing together.
Scott Brad, he's coming for you.
He's coming for me.
Yeah.
If he had got the third squat and hit the rest of his lifts as he did, he would have tiled my best total. But
really
wasn't to be. But he's getting there.
Was that planned?
That was all planned. You got it. The number one key of being a good coach is sabotage your lifters when they get close to you in strength. But
thanks.
Shouts out.
Yeah.
Didn't get me today, but I have to be careful next time he lifts. He could.
Makes sense with B money now as well. You're just doing me a solid. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. The 247 wasn't for the win. It was make sure he misses it so that James George can stay on top of the.
I would have wanted to see his chicken dance though.
You'll have to wait another day.
I haven't seen him. I need to.
You'll have to
reach out to him.
To wait another day. Yeah. One more lifter to recap from the last couple of weeks is Abby. Abby also. Oh yeah,
lifted. I didn't see how Abby went. How did she go?
So Abby lifted also in Sydney at Megan Nats in the juniors. Wasn't her day, unfortunately. Ended up coming 5th in the 69s, which is still mad. Like, obviously probably the most competitive, one of the most competitive weight classes there. Like, just a lot of really solid lifters, and yeah, to have a not the best day for sure, and still finish 5th. I think is excellent, but yeah, just wasn't the day that we wanted. Squats just weren't there. 140 was all right, like pretty solid opener. I went to 150, which is well below what she's done, and just just missed it, and then ended up missing it twice, which is obviously a pain, but it just wasn't there. Like we tried to brainstorm of things we could have done differently. Or lost my microphone for a bit. I got to stop using my hands a bit. But yeah, it just wasn't there. Like it was just, we both kind of agreed like just wasn't the day. Things were looking pretty solid for squats in the lead up. It just wasn't there, which is obviously a bummer. And obviously starting the day like that, it does make it challenging from there. And she ended up making all the benches, which was good. And then deadlifted 162, and then put on 170 to try sneak up the rankings a little bit more, but it just was a bit too heavy. So yeah, obviously not what we wanted, but I think she's keen to be post-comp and keen to have a bit of a break and just a time to like focus a bit more on training the gym, because over the last probably 3 years, she's had quite a number of comps. I think she might have done like 10 comps or something, just because it was always been a qualifier and then junior nationals, national. She's done a couple of team champs in there, so it's usually been very like rapidly back to back for her. So I think she'll definitely benefit from that extended break, a little side of not having a comp kind of coming up, and so I think it's going to be a really solid year for her. Just kind of still building, still training, but not having to have something on the calendar.
Does she know what that side quest is going to be, or just general training?
So side quest wise, I think she actually, funny you mentioned side quest. She actually wants to get back into bouldering, which she used to do, which I think would be good. Bring back some old hobbies in the mix. Yeah. And then her, which I was glad she was able to kind of come to this. I get focus for the next period. She's like, I just want to be proud of what I'm putting up. Yeah, because she's coming into like she's like, I don't really care what the numbers are. I just want to rock up to my next comp happy with where things are at. Yeah. Because this comp, as much as like the day itself just didn't really go to plan, it wasn't the day we wanted. Even in the lead up, like she's like, my training's just not where I want it to be. I want to I don't care what the numbers are. I just want to rock up next time and be like, I'm happy with how things have gone, and I feel like I'm in a good spot. So I think she's just going to be a bit more focused on the training, and I think there's definitely a place for that. I think that's something I've benefited from. I think I generally have quite a big gap between comps. I think it's just I think a lot of people can benefit from that. Just training, getting after it, not having a date that's kind of always there, kind of looming. It's just do the work.
Having something other than a comp to invest yourself into.
100%. And I was talking to her a little bit about it, where like there's nothing wrong with having the goal over time of building a total. And most lifters, that's what it's all about. Like for most powerlifters, but if that's the only thing that you can like think of as being successful, if the options are I PB my total successful, if I didn't, unsuccessful. Obviously, especially over a longer period, there's going to be periods where that's just not possible. You're not always going to be at your best, and then you can be left feeling a bit less satisfied. So even for myself, the last period, as much as what I feel like what I'm doing with my training is in the pursuit of building my total over time, that hasn't been my goal. My goal is I want bigger arms and bigger legs because I think that'll help me. But also I just want that to happen. So probably time I measured my arms, like. Because
have you yet?
I measured them. I think in December. It's probably time to measure them again.
Nice.
I'm a bit worried that they haven't grown enough. So I'm like, I just keep training. We'll measure them.
Delay.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, this is the goal. It's different to the goals I've ever really had. But with that, it's like, okay, this has been the training. This has been the goal. Let's measure. Let's test. How much progress have we made? So yeah, we got to do that. But yeah, shout out to the team over the last couple of weeks. A lot of really solid performances, and as a coach, I really enjoy comp day coaching. So it's always fun. And then we've got a few coming up as well. We've got push pull run. Obviously, we host at the end of this month. Then we've obviously got Apex in July. So yeah, plenty of big days coming up for the team.
Novice, and then again we got Culture here. October?
Yep. That's it. The Novice Comp is probably the next one after. It's obviously push pull runs right here, but the Novice Comp is the next one coming up on the 30th of August. So if you do enjoy lifting, if you're wanting to wet your feet a little bit, that'd definitely be the one. Like they're always a fun day, and as Brad Scott now, totaling over 600. That was his kind of journey in.
Did he come in like wanting to do powerlifting?
He signed up he signed up like probably about 10 weeks out from a novice comp. He'd done a fair bit of strength training, but never really like honed in on powerlifting. So that was it. He just wanted to
had a bit of an interest.
Wanted to try powerlifting. That was his kind of way in, and I think he really enjoyed it. He got a lot out of it, and now he's become obviously a part of the community, and he's gone on to do a bunch of sanctioned comps. So I think they're a great option. They're obviously pretty relaxed, pretty casual. You can just rock up with your usual gym clothes, and it's a super supportive environment. Obviously, it's the team, it's the members. Like we're all here to get around everyone, and like they're always a fun time. So if you are keen, that it will be our next novice comp on the 30th of August. So if you are keen for coaching in the lead up to that one, message the page, message one of us, and we can sort you out.
Yeah, I've noticed that with the last batch of people, or the last two batches of novice comps that we've done here, have been people that have just generally strength trained before, but then or come from a completely different kind of if you want to call it a discipline of training.
Yep.
Train here now and have like seen like yourself train, and they're like, oh, I just want to suss it out.
Yeah,
see how we go.
There's a bunch of them, obviously, like Molly coming from the more CrossFit back form.
Yeah.
Like one of my clients, Richard, who's going to be doing our July comp. He's done
really.
Yeah, he's doing the sanction comp. He'll be mad.
Springbok.
The Springbok.
The Safa.
He was an ultra runner. He did half marathons and trail running.
Yeah.
Same with thing. Like was starting to get involved in a bit of strength training, wanted a bit of structure, and he's done a couple novice comps. He just pulled 170 for two the other day, and it's mad. He's knocking on the door of that 100 kilo bench. We've got to get it soon. Fingers crossed at Apex. That's what we're gunning for. But
actually, he told me I think recently that he was learning a bit of ollie lifts as well. Mate, it's happening.
So Richard actually did that.
Everyone is.
I'm not sure if maybe he's brought it back in the mix. He did ollie lifts maybe about 9 months ago. He did a small period of it. But I think he sometimes dabbles. I've been loving the ollie lifting, man. Like
how good.
I've been really enjoying it.
Mate, it's brought a pep into my step for the rest of the session. I feel like
I think there's just and this is something maybe us powerlifters us powerlifters could friends us powerlifters could take a leaf out of the book of some different training styles. Just doing something fast. That is something that isn't really
power lifts. Yeah.
I was literally explaining to Victoria this morning, like, well, you see,
it's called
powerlifting, but it's power training is something different. But yeah, like it's just fun.
Yeah,
and you just feel G'd up. Like, man,
something about it. It's like, and it crashes on your shoulders, and you're like, oh yeah.
I think so if we can inspire some people in the gym, you and me, James George, with our riveting. Strength on the
Did
cleans.
you see my max out? It was max out. The ceiling came a lot quicker than I thought it was.
That's all right. You'll get there.
75.
You'll get there.
75 for a decent clean, and then tried 80 and just fucking wasn't moving. Yeah, a lot of this. Yeah.
When you I've been there. When you miss a clean, it's just demoralizing. Like when you can't even get it past. It's like.
It is, and you're like, nah, I can try a little bit harder.
You don't need to get if you miss a deadlift, like you're grinding there for a few seconds, you get a chance to try. Like
you're like
the clean,
that was solid.
You miss it, it's like I'm weak. I can't do anything. I'm used. Like you feel like that. That's the trouble of it. When you do fly a bit too close to the sun, you're like, well, fuck me. Like that was shit. Like
no, it's starting to feel good. Like what I've been not pushing it, but exploring it for the better half of like 5 to 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
And obviously Molly's helping the both of us.
Shouts out Molly Clark. Like,
she's been unreal.
She's been super helpful with the ollie lifts. Like I've been doing them for maybe like 18 months now, just kind of filling around. But the last maybe 3 months or so, just like some really just some really helpful coaching. And it's been great. So
man, I was doing some snatches with her on Saturday.
They looked good.
They were the best that they
looked really
felt.
good.
Yeah. We're geeing her up a lot. Yeah.
I think I need to
she
start.
Deserves her flowers.
100%. I think I need to start doing some snatches.
Man, they
look really fun.
They are fun. And they feel mad.
Yeah.
Like just having that weight overhead.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm only snatching 35.
But see, that's
Nothing
the
crazy,
beauty of
but-
the Ollie lifts. Maybe I'm sure someone who's actually good at Ollie lifting would be like 40 kilos, 50 kilos.
Speak for yourself, mate.
But no.
I'm pretty good.
Let me
I'm joking, I'm
let
joking.
me finish the sentence.
I'm trash.
The point I'm making is, I feel like I put the most I've cleaned 97 kilos. Even 50,
Crazy.
like 50 kilos is still fun though. Like even
Yeah.
if it's a warm up or like a lighter set, it's fun. Whereas like with like powerlifting, lightweights they're just not fun. Oh, I'll do this because I warm up. But like
Yeah.
there's something just fun. Like even like I'm sure if I snatch 40, I'd be like, oh man, this is
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Whereas like I don't think anyone walks into the gym and deadlifts 40 kilos like, oh wow, this is so enjoyable. Like it's just,
Yeah.
like I like that about it. But,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think you and me, where hopefully we can inspire some of the crew, some of the members to dabble in Ollie lifting, and then very swiftly handball them Molly's way. But
Actually, I saw Elise doing.
we have to distinguish. We have an Elise and an Elise. So
Yeah.
in conversation we have
Elise.
to emphasize that first letter. But yeah, Elise doing some cleans,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Elise doing some. Yeah.
Fucking
I
oath.
saw Elise doing some cleans. It's cool to see people doing shit outside of
So there's
like,
that.
just powerlifting.
I think we need to take it upon ourselves to
Inspire the masses. Not
yes.
inspire, but
No,
just
yes, we have to. But
do other things.
But I think we need to sprinkle in some other power-based movements,
Yeah.
whether it's some throws, some med balls, some this, some that. Like we could use a bit more of that around the gym.
absolutely.
We've got the med balls, we've got the turf outside, we've got the
Yeah.
wall. I think we just need to. We definitely it was definitely there a little while ago. I think it's just kind of dropped off a bit. I think we need to bring it back. So today 3:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no one's going to hear this, but yeah, I'm on my shift. I'm just going to be throwing balls at the ground, and everyone's going to be doing them. Everyone,
Yeah.
we'll get that grey one, bang.
Bang, med ball slams.
You do it when you're on shift next tomorrow morning,
Tomorrow night.
tomorrow night.
Yeah. I'll be
Come in
doing
tomorrow night. Power.
Power.
I reckon we'll leave it there, team. Well done, James George, on your first 6 months. Thank you for listening.
you.
If you are interested in getting started with some powerlifting, we have our novice comp, August 30th. Get involved with the gym, coaching from all the boys. We'll get you started. So message the page, check out the links in the description if you can. Other than that, thanks for lifting.
Do it. You won't regret it.
You won't regret it. Have a good one.